Hello everyone, I'm Mario from Cucinare Italiano, and today I'll guide you step by step in making the perfect homemade margherita pizza. This timeless Italian classic is simple yet delicious, with fresh ingredients that bring out all the flavor of tradition. But first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a big thumbs up. And now, let's get cooking. For the dough for 2 large pizzas or 4 small ones, 500 grams of 00 flour, 325 milliliters of warm water, 10 grams of salt, 3 grams of fresh yeast or 1 gram of dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. For the topping, 400 grams of tomato puree, preferably San Marzano tomatoes, 300 grams of fresh mozzarella, diced and well drained, a few fresh basil leaves, extra virgin olive oil as needed, a pinch of salt. In a large bowl, dissolve the yeast in warm water along with the teaspoon of sugar. Let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes until you see bubbles on the surface. This means the yeast is ready to work its magic. Add the flour gradually and start mixing. As the dough starts to come together, add the salt and extra virgin olive oil. Transfer the dough to a lightly floured surface and knead it with enthusiasm for about 10 minutes until it's smooth and elastic. Place the dough in a lightly oiled bowl, cover it with a clean cloth, and let it rest in a warm place for at least 2 hours or until it has doubled in size. The dough needs time to rise properly. Preheat the oven to the highest temperature, between 220 and 250 degrees Celsius, with the baking tray inside to heat up. When the dough has risen, transfer it to a lightly floured surface and divide it into 2 or 4 equal portions, depending on the size of the pizzas you want to make. Cover them with a cloth and let them rest for another 30 minutes. Take one portion and gently stretch it out with your hands, starting from the center towards the edges, until you have a disc about 25 to 30 centimeters in diameter. Try to leave a slightly thicker edge to create the famous pizza crust. Spread an even layer of tomato puree over the dough. Add a pinch of salt and a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil to enhance the flavor. And now it's time to put it in the oven. Place the pizza on the top rack, and while it starts baking, prepare the mozzarella by cutting it into small pieces. After about 5 minutes of baking, quickly open the oven and add the well-drained mozzarella cubes and a few fresh basil leaves. Continue baking for another 5 minutes or until the mozzarella is fully melted and slightly golden. Take the pizza out of the oven and add a few more fresh basil leaves and a drizzle of raw olive oil. And there you have it, your homemade margherita pizza is ready to enjoy. 00 flour is perfect for a light dough, but if you want a more rustic pizza, try using type 0 inches flour. Your home oven doesn't reach the high temperatures of a wood-fired oven, so bake the pizza at the highest possible temperature, and if you can, use a pizza stone for a crispy base. Want a more digestible dough? Prepare the dough a day in advance and let it rise in the fridge for 24 hours. Remember to take it out of the fridge 2 hours before using. To prevent the mozzarella from releasing too much water during baking, slice it a few hours before and let it drain in a colander. If your oven has the option, use the static mode for a more even bake. Thanks for cooking with me, Mario. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It would make my day. See you in the next recipe on Cucinare Italiano.